Good morning.
Welcome to the morning show.
Yeah.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. We are The Big Show, and today we have award-winning psychologist from the therapy room with us, Dr. Geraldine Tan. Good morning, Jerry.
Morning!
You're always so bright and cheery. Good morning, Dr. Geraldine.
恭喜发财.
恭喜发财! See, I have. Come, I show you.
Oh,
Okay.
I had some as well.
So how? That means I need to give you ang pao? Then,
You need to give me a buff for what?
because you just showed me your oranges.
That sounded wrong. Okay.
Yeah, that sounded very wrong.
If I show you my oranges, you need to give me.
She showed you
Ang pao as well.
oranges, not her oranges. English.
Okay,
All right. Dr. Geraldine Tan, we're talking about something that was in the news recently with some new guidelines from
I know.
MOH, was it?
Yes, MOH, and it's so exciting. It came out just before Chinese New Year, and I was like, okay, let's see if it actually works, or do parents actually follow the guidelines? So the MOH guidelines are from the children from 0 to 12 years old. So nothing beyond 12 years old. So the teens were actually quite happy about it.
Why is zero though?
Because you'd be surprised how
from
early,
birth,
how early parents start their kids on devices like iPads, to entertain them and stuff. Even when they can't press anything.
But zero? There's no child.
No, 0 just means newborn.
Oh, okay.
It's like you're 0 days old. Like that's like
But technically, not 0 days old. What?
No,
Maybe
technically
2 days
not. If
old.
you want to start splitting hairs, maybe
Okay,
1
yeah.
day old.
Who started? You started splitting hairs with me first this morning. That's why.
I
Yes,
did
yes.
not. Dr. Jerry,
When I was doing
please
Spy the Lie.
mediate.
Okay, anyway.
Dear me.
Spy the Lie comes on every morning at 6:55 a.m. By the way, if you haven't heard it.
It's the world's worst game.
She
but-
was splitting hairs with me this morning.
It's a terrible game.
Okay, never mind. Anyway, go on.
Anyways, yes. So we were looking at screens, and for those that are watching on Big Show TV, you definitely have a screen in front of you. But we are not picking bones with that. It's more the what are screens, right? So the screens are like our phones. And Joe talked about the iPad, TV. So a lot of times people don't remember that your TV is also a screen. Your computer is also a screen. So when we tell the kids to get off the computer, they go from one computer to their phones, and it's still a screen. Yeah, so when we add up the screen time, it actually is quite a bit. And your TV and your computer, you cannot track how long they are on it.
Interesting that you're talking about screens because right now in front of me, I have 4 screens.
Yes.
I have 3 screens in front of me.
And this is just
looking.
every day.
Yeah. And when I go home, I'm immediately on my TV set.
yeah,
And
and
I'm
your
watching
phone.
like a couple of Bollywood movies. And can I just recommend Pushpa? Pushpa 1 and Pushpa 2. Huh? Starring, I think his name is Ilun Arjun, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken.
No idea
Now he's
who
my
that is.
favorite
Of
action
course.
Bollywood star. Okay, anyway, let's continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV about how we can not we can stop ourselves from depending too much on screen time, because I think it's all part of us right now. Sometimes we don't even realize
Yep.
it. All right, more of Jerry on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's One Republic with Runaway on Kiss 92.
Yeah, it's become so much a part of our everyday lives. You can't not walk without your phone in your hand. When you walk through your house as well, you're carrying your phone from one room to another.
Yes.
Tell me that's true.
I just went to the toilet and
And
I
you
was
took
sitting
your phone.
down and I was checking my phone as well.
Lots of people do that. They may not admit it, but they do.
Yep.
Where's the
So,
disinfectant? No.
Ew.
There's really nothing wrong with our screens, it is such an integral part of our lives nowadays that we cannot do without the screens. Oh, one more screen that I almost forgot, our smart watches.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is also a screen. So
Yeah.
a lot of times the kids go, oh, we can put our phones in the locker, but it's okay. I still have my smart watches. And some of the smart watches do have games. Actually, all the smart watches have games inside.
Really?
Mine doesn't have a
also-
game. Really?
Because yours an Android one, that's why.
Yours, Apple, you didn't even know yours had a game.
I'm sure I can download a game if I really wanted
I'm sure
to.
I could as well.
I think
Right,
so.
Jerry? Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't have one. It was distracting me too much.
Yeah.
I gave up using it. Yeah.
I think maybe
because-
yours also, like Angel. I'm sure you can. I hear Android's not too bad as well.
Oh, thanks. I definitely can, but I've stopped downloading games and stuff like that because I want to lessen screen time. I start to feel like nowadays when I'm just scrolling, after like 5 minutes, I really feel my brain dying because I'm not actually absorbing anything. You're doom scrolling, right? And then my eyes start to get tired, so that's when I like grab maybe a book or something. But then again, my book is also a screen now
a
because it's an
screen.
e-book.
Yes. So it really depends on what we use our screens for. So if you're using it for doom scrolling, which many of our teens are doing, or just mindless watching. So I think I like the fact that MOH had mentioned no background screen use, as well as, and they put it in red exclamation mark, and do not use screens during meals and 1 hour before
Bedtime. Yeah.
So I really like that because how often do you go into a restaurant or in the food court and you see the screen just propped up at the table and the kid is just watching while the helper is feeding or the parent is feeding the child.
But Dr. Jerry,
so
at the
that-
same time, the parent is also using the phone.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
like,
you see the parents on the phone as well.
it's like adults can do anything they want, but the kids cannot.
It needs to
Okay,
be
so
an
that
example
is slightly
set.
different. That is modeling. But when we talk about the child just watching it mindlessly, so the parent thinks that these are educational videos, but how educational is that video?
Yeah.
So all the different like cartoons and things like that. After a while, I'm just watching. There's lights flashing, there's a lot of movement. The child isn't really absorbing any new information.
But this is the problem, you see, Jerry. Parents are taught to treat their kids with, a certain respect, open and close inverted commas. They are children, but then you need to reason with them. You need to this, you need to that. No, I say now as a parent, right? It's like just tell the kid, look, you're just not allowed to do this. That's all. But daddy, mommy, how come you guys can do it?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
we are adults. We can do whatever we want. We brought you into this world. We can just tell you right now what you can and cannot do. When you're an adult, you can do whatever you want.
This is true.
Right?
That's how we
That's
were
how
brought
we
up.
were brought up.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
so this is what needs to be done with the kids as well right now. No screen time.
and take the screens away and give them coloring books. I mean, I think if kids
No,
are
lah, coloring book's not so cool.
Oh,
Oh, there
Okay,
are
very
adult
old-fashioned.
books,
They
and
are-
it's
no.
very, very exciting.
Shalini said it's still
they
in
are.
fashion.
They're in fashion, just not with
Yes.
you.
Okay.
But so the MOH guidelines, they say below 18 months old, which is quite big in that sense because the child is already walking around and running around. No screen time for 18 and under, except for video calls, and don't leave it on in the background like white noise.
Yeah.
Why would an 18-year-old have 18-month-old have access to a device?
Because the iPad is used as a babysitter for
That's-
when they're eating,
That's
when they're
nonsense.
busy. They're like, oh, this child is making too much noise. Just put the iPad in front of them, and they just sit there and they're zombified, right? Watching whatever is playing.
Yeah.
That's nonsense,
Yeah.
really.
They do. I've seen so many of it. Just look around when you're like at a restaurant or when you're out the next time, you'll see it.
Yeah. So
Traffic
those are
coming
for
up.
the kids.
Okay. Just one sec.
Okay, stand by for traffic.
Okay.
Kiss 92 traffic.
It's the usual peak hour traffic out there, but one situation that's happened is on the TPE towards the SLE. This is an accident right before the CTE exit causing, congestion to the Jalan Kayu exit. Avoid lanes 1 and 2. If you spot anything else, it's 8855
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. This is Tuesday's edition, and that's why we have award-winning psychologist from the therapy room, Dr. Geraldine Tan, with us. Good morning, Jerry. Looking very fresh, I have to say, even after Chinese New Year. Not that you put on weight or anything like that. You have not. I don't think you ate very much during Chinese New Year then.
Okay. He tried to backpedal there.
No, I'm not backpedaling. It's true. You know, credit where credit is due. Today, I'm going to meet many, many people. And if I see that they put on weight, I'm going to go like, yep, this Chinese New Year, you ate a lot of bakwa.
Oh, no.
How about that?
No, it's not politically correct.
I'm in a mood right now. I don't know why.
Yeah,
like these days, I'm like, okay, forget it. Don't bother being politically correct already. All my life, I've been politically correct.
All your life?
Yeah. Anyway, Jerry, see me soon. Just because we are friends doesn't mean I can't occupy your couch, right? Anyway, we'll have a separate conversation about this. Okay, so we're talking about children and how we should deprive them of screen time.
No,
not deprive them. Limit their screen time.
Limit, or introduce it and teach them appropriate use of screen. So if we depart from the children for a little while and we go to the adults, because we're talking about the mental well-being, right? The adults use the screen for many different reasons. Legitimately would be their work, the connectivity, the social, trying to arrange things. So they are on their phones a lot of the time, and also social media, perhaps, right? I think the adults also do that. I was going to say the teens, but the adults also do that. And also for leisure. So you have different categories that the adults use it for. And the phone is one of the biggest usage that they have, because it is so convenient, so mobile. Is it good or is it bad? There isn't a straight answer for this one, because we do need it. It is very vital for our urban lifestyle.
Now, everything is in the phone now, right? Everything
is in the phone.
We used to carry around like little notebooks and wrote down phone numbers or remembered phone numbers, right? Now, how many phone numbers do you remember?
No.
So I feel like screen time slows down our ability to do things manually, like write and like remember things, cognitive behavior and stuff. But when it comes to parents limiting screen time to kids, David Boo has come on our Facebook and he says there are a lot of parents that really don't care about the screen time. They really don't care about anything that, guidelines that have been put up and all that, because it's what works for them.
So it's interesting. It's interesting because I think Glenn is very right, because the adult is so used to having the screen, and it has become a crutch for us. So that's why I moved over to the adult, because we're so reliant on the screen for our work. I'll put my hand up and say I answer messages, emails on my phone, and my phone has 2 or 3 email accounts.
Same.
That I would answer, right? And also you have the different social media, your WhatsApp, your Instagram, your Telegram, what else do I have? The Facebook Messenger, and sometimes
小红书.
I don't have 小红书, thank goodness for that. I just cannot catch up answering everything, but it feels so essential. So in our minds, it is essential. And therefore, we convey that vibe to the children, that it is very essential to have that piece of device or that screen in front of you. So unless we are able to discipline ourselves and put it away at certain times, that means you have screen-free times. It is very difficult to tell the child you should not have the screen at a certain time or put
Right.
away the screen.
Yeah.
And also, you know how many adults who are listening right now have more than one phone?
Phone, yeah, exactly.
Many
Or
people have like
devices,
two phones these
and
days.
then one iPad and one laptop.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Let's continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV. It is 8:19.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought
But I think what you said was interesting because it's not about completely getting rid of it because we can't.
No.
It's about limiting it, maybe starting with meal times. Where everybody, including the adults, do not pick up their phones. In fact, put the phones in the other room or something.
Jerry, why can't we just like don't bother? I don't even know why MOH is getting involved. I mean, I think we need
Because
to.
it's not healthy.
I know. We need to
Yeah,
speak
you
to
know.
Ong Yi Kang about this. It's like you can't. You can't control everything and everyone.
That's
This is what
why-
I mean. Sometimes just let it go.
But it's not a control. It's a guideline. It's a recommendation to bring up more well-rounded children. Because if you're constantly just got your face in your phone, you're not going to be outdoors. You're not going to be playing. You're not going to be interacting socially. So, I totally agree with it.
Of course, lah.
So-
I mean, we'll have to agree with it. We're so used to.
No, but I agree with it because it's going to be healthier.
We're
And it's
so used to this cannot, that cannot, don't do this, don't do that. It's like, okay, it's part and parcel of our lives here as Singaporeans.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's a guideline. I think we just need the reminders, like start small, start with mealtime, where everyone's got their phones outside. Start with the 1 hour before bed, read a book instead, because you learn so much more. You can't do anything from your phone. Doom scrolling is...
And for those of you who have mates, just get your mates to just, look after your kids. At 18 months, I'm talking about here.
No, parents can look after their kids at 18 months.
Forget it lah.
Oh my
Parents
goodness.
are useless these days. You're talking about the
Is this
parents who are putting devices, in
Yeah,
front of their kids.
yeah.
What I'm saying here is if you've got a mate,
A helper. A
is
helper.
such a better word than helper.
A helper.
Okay, anyway, then you just get the helper to what do you call, run around with the kid then.
That's what they already do, though. The helpers are surrogate parents to
Yeah, I
kids
know,
these
but
days.
what's then the device?
Why do
This
they
is what
need
I'm
the
saying.
device?
Right, instead of getting the kid to sit down there and you put the device in front of the kid,
Get the helper to
just
run around.
Get the helper to feed the kid and run around with the kid or whatever lah.
Dr. Jerry, your thoughts?
That's why I have no kids, It's like, who wants to have
Glenn
kids
is in
these
a
days if it's so
very,
difficult?
Different state of mind today.
Correct.
Yes.
That's why I need two therapists.
Okay. We are on Therapy Tuesday. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning.
I realized, this Chinese New Year, I had a lot of time to, reflect. I think I'm, when people said, Glenn, you're a bad boy. All these years, you're a bad boy. I think I am a bad boy, I think I'm a bad boy trying to be a good boy.
Oh, are you trying to be a good boy?
Well, everyone's wanting me to be a good boy. That's the thing. Maybe...
You're not being authentic to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
anyway,
be who you are.
That's another story again altogether. Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
Glenn is discovering himself this Chinese New Year.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
okay. I think he's rediscovering
Yes.
himself.
Why have I failed so many times? Because I have not been authentic, I think.
It could possibly. This is a question you have to ask yourself.
I've not been, anyway. Not with everyone else, but with
your partners.
With
your partners.
Anyway, that's another story altogether.
Self-reflection doesn't come with screen time. So when he was able to sit with himself and be quiet without the screen, he had all these thoughts. And that is important.
Yeah, for sure.
If you look at self-regulation, emotional awareness, emotional identification. So it was quite interesting during the Chinese New Year to observe some of the teens. Teens nowadays like to play mahjong. I don't know why.
Mahjong.
But that's great. They're not on their
Yes.
screens.
They are not on their
their screens.
screens.
That's
I was
great.
very proud of them. And they have to look at the tiles. They need to look at each other. They need to send signals to each other. And I thought it was such a wonderful way of them trying to identify emotions, trying to think and analyze, the cards at hand, or to analyze the other person, to strategize,
Yeah.
or to also think about whether I want to let you win or not, to be compassionate, not just only having that competitiveness, but also compassion, because sometimes if this person is losing all the time, you might want to like, okay, I will just give it to you for this time. It's okay. And to display that sort of compassion, I thought that was very, very beautiful.
Oh, that's very cool. And they learn body language as well.
They learn body language,
yeah.
fine motor skills.
Yeah.
You were talking about on screen, you're just using the thumbs or using the finger, and fine motor skills just disappear. So if we still want to maintain all these, right? So I have the 5 pillars: the social, the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, and the cognitive. If we keep just disappearing into the phone and using the phone as a crutch, we lose all these. The social aspect starts to disappear. The physical, you're just sedentary, you're not moving, or you're talking about the fine motor skills, they disappear also. And then we start having a generation of students who cannot write properly. And they start to ask for the computer because they say, I type faster. Can I have the computer to do my examination or to do my work instead of writing? Which is quite sad. But if we don't give them the computer, nobody can read their writing.
I'm with the young
true,
ones.
yeah.
I hate writing as well.
Because you've got
even when I was in
terrible
secondary
penmanship.
school, yeah. O levels, A levels, whatever. I just hated writing. It's like, oh my goodness, this is so tiring.
It is tiring. It's tiring now for me as well to hold a pen and to write. It's because you're not used to it, right?
Which is why when my teacher went like, okay, Glenn, that's it. 1,500 lines. Write this. I'm not going to say what I'm like, oh my God, that's the ultimate punishment. Okay, stand by.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the TPE towards the PIE, right before the KPE exit, avoid lane 1. Also on the CTE towards the AYE at the PIE Changi exit, a vehicle's broken down there in both situations. Wherever you are this morning, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It is Glenn and Angel together with Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Jerry. So
We
earlier
are on screen today.
we are on screen, and that's exactly what we're talking about: limiting screen time, especially for younger children, which is guidelines that the MOH released. But you were talking about teens over Chinese New Year that were playing mahjong and how that pleasantly surprised you because they weren't interacting with their phones and they were learning different types of skills, right? So how can we? I know why parents use phones and devices to entertain their kids, because maybe they're too busy, too lazy.
Then
can't be
don't have
bothered.
kids. How
you know
about
what
that?
I mean? I think those are those. Sometimes it's too late. Those are the different reasons, right? That they entertain their children with. But what else can they do?
They don't know how to entertain their children. They don't know what other tools to entertain. So in the MOE guidelines, there are some resources for the parents also, which I thought was quite interesting. And let me just scroll to that page. So it's a nice comprehensive 17-page guideline.
Oh, 17 pages. Wow.
Yeah, 17 pages. So if you want to see the guidelines for the 0 to 12-year-old, is on page 9 and 10. I didn't memorize it. I just have it in front of me. Page 12, the MOH has given some of the ideas and resources for parents to use.
Like what though?
So, let me see.
Okay, while you're looking
there's
at
Mandy
it,
here who is saying kiss me and stop me from shaking. I think what is really sad is that a lot of parents rather look at their phones than interact with their children.
Where'd you get the kiss me and stop me and shake
Actually,
me?
they don't have. They don't have any
Mandy.
resources for the parents.
Yeah, but I think like children's versions of, say, mahjong would be things like board games, puzzles and stuff like that. But the parents need to be involved as well.
Yes, they do.
You know,
But let's jump to the parents.
Parents are
because the
so
parents,
useless these days.
I totally
no,
agree.
they're not. Or the
I agree with.
adults, they use it differently. So in the past, it is used for leisure. So we had the TV screen. So it first started with the radio, and people were listening to the radio, but there was nothing to see, so it was in the background, right? But then when TVs came into the whole scene, people were just sitting there and just gawking at that black box. And we were saying, oh, it causes a lot of trouble. It's the same story with every different generation with different sort of technology. So then now we have the phones. But if we think about what they are using it for, so if it's leisure, if it's social, so to connect with people, those are wonderful things to use your devices for, or to use the screens for. There's a lot of learning that can happen, learning about the arts, learning about culture, learning about different information. But if we switch over to the negative side, which we will talk about later, is it? Because time has run out.
Correct. No, we'll talk about it on the Big Show TV. Okay? All right. Meantime, here's Ellie Goulding. Love Me Like You Do on Kiss 92. Wow, you can read our faces already, I know.
Yes, we have to look at the screen and read body language.
Yeah, for sure. Dr. Jerry, just don't mean to cut you off, but David Boo has said he has a hard time when he takes his 17-month-old son out for a meal. Because parents at the next table are allowing their kids to be on their iPads while eating. And so the son doesn't say anything, but the son starts watching that screen as well.
What?
Yes, because
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wait, 17 months is what? A year?
And a half. It's about a year and a half.
A year and a half. They know things?
Yeah, of course they know. They know things from the time they're born. Yes, they know things. Children are smarter than you think.
The screen is moving. There are lots of colors,
Interactive,
especially for the children's shows. Right? It's very colorful, because it needs to hold their attention. There's a lot more of a bigger movement. So if for those that are watching the Big Show TV, you would see that Glenn and Angel doesn't move much. I'm very sorry, but my hand tends to move a lot. My teacher used to say I look like I'm doing an orchestra or something like that.
You're Italian Chinese, is it? Are you Italian Chinese?
You gesticulate.
I gesticulate too much. But for the shows, right, that the adults watch, there's not as much movement. But for the children, there's a lot of color, there's a lot of big movement. It's very, very stimulating. So the eyes does get drawn to the other person's screen. So I don't blame the 17-month-old for looking at that. And it is not as fun to do the coloring or even to play with their toys, because it takes more effort to play with their toys than just to sit and watch something. Yeah, but that is the whole idea. We want them to move a lot more. We want the sensorial experience so that the different parts of the brain can be developed.
So is it laziness on the parent side?
It in part is laziness,
It is.
because the parent needs to put in effort to bring the toy, to decide what sort of toy, to encourage the child to play with the toy, to redirect the attention back to the toy or to whatever mundane activity that they have prepared for the child.
I'm guilty of that as well. Like Tofu wants to play, I'll just give him a lick mat.
Please.
No,
She's talking about a dog.
No, but it's the same thing. Pets need engagement as well.
Oh my God.
So when he brings a toy to me, if I cannot be bothered, I will just give him one of those interactive toys that keeps him busy for half an hour. So I can continue to scroll through Instagram and he can be entertained in that sense, because he doesn't need screen time, right?
Dogs are not people.
But they still need attention.
I mean, I love my dog.
They need
but
attention.
They need
but
attention.
You're keeping him engaged differently. It's very
Not with screen
sensorial.
time. Yeah.
Not with
she
screen
treats
time.
her Tofu like really Tofu is her son like that.
No, but I turn on the TV for him as well. Sometimes he watches Benji, loves Benji's his favorite movie.
Oh my god. What next?
Glenn just
What?
scoffed at you. Oh no.
He scoffed at me. Yes, don't worry, he scoffs every day.
Oh dear me.
Benji.
Benji, yeah, it's his favorite.
Why not Baywatch? If you say Baywatch, maybe lah.
You
We're
know,
like,
he
yeah,
may,
all right, tofu.
You know what?
Benji. Why not Lassie?
Let me try getting Pamela Anderson running down the beach and see how he reacts to that.
Exactly.
I can try. He might like it. Yeah.
By the way you bring him up, he's gonna be a bit of a sissy.
Oh, stop it. Wow.
But you know, Angel, as a poor parent, you know, you were on your Instagram, but you're on your Instagram doing research, doing your content creation, so that's work, you see. Yeah, so then we have a different story altogether. You know, are you able to draw those boundaries for yourself? So we have work on our phones, we have escaping. So we talk about, you know, good mental well-being. A lot of us use our screens as escapes. So adults do that, the teens do that also. So they game to escape the reality or the expectations of society. So that would not be good. They
Glenn's
do-
on his phone now.
No, I'm like, I'm usually on my phone. For me, it's like checking messages
What are you
and
doing
my
now?
email.
What are you doing
Okay, so
now?
this afternoon I'm hosting a Chinese New Year luncheon for SPH for all our
Clients and stuff,
clients and friends and all that. So I'm getting messages and like, okay, report at this time and.
Do you need to check it now? You don't.
Well, I mean, it just was in front of me.
Oh, see that, and then your watch. Your
Yeah.
watch notifies
Usually
you. as
I don't
well.
bother, but today, I mean, it's time sensitive, so that's why.
Got it.
All right. Okay. Sorry about that. What were you saying? Can you start from the top? No. Kidding. I was listening.
Glenn, he needs to be showered with a lot of tender, loving care this few
Correct.
days.
Yeah, you're feeling it as well, or alcohol.
No,
Just
no more
doused,
alcohol.
doused in alcohol.
Oh my god! I've been drinking and smoking so much,
Oh,
Jerry. But no more. I've stopped the smoking.
good for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
It
And
just
then
went
maybe
so
because
well
you're
with the
drinking-
with
With
the
the
whiskey
drinks.
and.
Yeah, the association.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so substances. So screens can become a substance also, right? And that's when when we indulge ourselves in terms of escaping into it, the overstimulation, it becomes like an addiction. So addiction becomes a problem also. So but we don't jump to the word addiction straight away.
Oh my god! I'm addicted to what now?
What I
Okay,
don't
no,
know,
no.
that I want to know.
Okay,
Don't
okay.
answer the question.
I better not say it. This has been a very dark few months. Okay, anyway, yeah, please carry on.
Yes, so substances, you just brought us very nicely into the next part, right? So sometimes what causes us to escape into our screens, it can hide depressiveness. So like what you're saying, you know, it's a dark space. So all the substances become very enticing just to indulge in. So some of the adults use screens as a form of escape because they are very depressed, because they are very anxious. So, for example, this afternoon you're hosting something. So, once there is a buzz or a message pops up, the anxiety prompts you to respond to it immediately. So, there is anxiety that sometimes propels us onto the screen, stays on screen, or keeps us on the screen rather. Yeah, so if it's hiding an anxiety issue or a disorder, then we want to deal with it. Some kids or some adults who are extremely, not extremely, you just need to have ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. They can't stay on one activity.
You're talking about him, right? Yeah. You can just ask her.
Well, but it is also this generation. So this generation, they might not have ADHD, but their attention span is very, very short. If you go into the lecture theatre in the universities, and each of them have their screens open, their laptops open, just have a look. How many tabs are open at the same time? and how many
One,
apps
2, 3,
are
4,
pinging
5,
them
6, 7,
while the
8, 9,
lecturer
10, 11,
is
12, 13.
talking. So the Telegram app is on their laptop and it swooshes in, or the WhatsApp, web is on the screen, and they keep getting pinged. Discord is on their computer.
Okay, hold on. We're going for a traffic update.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the SLE towards the CTE after the TPE exit, an accident has been reported. Also on the TPE towards the PIE, a vehicle's broken down right before the KPE exit. Avoid lane 1. If you spot anything, our number is 885550
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. Time just flies when you're having fun, they always say. And I guess we're having a lot of fun with you, Dr. Jerry, because, just like that, 40 minutes have flown by.
Yeah, and Dr.
no.
Jerry,
It's
Dr.
also
Jerry,
Yeah.
super quick. We wish we had 2 hours with you. But you were talking about tabs being open and how you're so
Yeah.
distracted and all that. I just counted
Yeah.
my tabs. I have 13 tabs that I open on my
Oh
computer.
see?
no!
This woman.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 2 screens, and each of them has about 3 tabs open, and then the phone is also on.
The
I
phone
win.
is also on.
I
How many do
only
you
have 5
Shalini, how many do you have?
on my laptop. 5.
Do I include the screens in front of me?
Yes.
Because I have
Yes.
I have 4 screens plus my laptop on the side, and the screen with the internet I have 4 work-related tabs.
Yeah.
Tabs.
Yeah.
And you have the
my
panel as well.
Not
Yeah.
fair for you to ask Shalini because she has to.
That's-
Hers is like purely work.
That's true.
Yours is like shopping.
No,
and then
no.
that-
It's
oh.
work. I've got my drive. I've got my traffic. I've got my
Yeah.
Instagram. I've got my document open. I've got my date checks open. No, it's all work.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Facebook is open. Mol says she uses the Focus To Do app that applies the Pomodoro method to focus on what I'm doing without using my phone. The more I have off-screen time, the more the tree grows, which is fun. So there's a little tree that grows in the app.
This is a girl thing, is it?
I have never
Just
used
like that,
it.
only,
we get
it makes
very
people
excited.
happy.
Isn't that great? Women are so simple. Like it.
Wrong.
The smallest
Men
things,
are simple.
The
Women
smallest-
are the complicated ones.
The
Okay?
smallest things make us happy, right, Shalini?
Us guys,
Yeah, we're
we
so
are the
easy.
simple ones.
You're simple-minded.
Shani, what's happening to my camera? Why am I so
Simple-minded is very
short
different.
today on the screen?
I have a photo evidence I'll post out on Instagram later.
What?
You're sliding in your
How you're
seat.
seated.
Oh,
You're sliding in your seat. That's what it is.
it's just very comfortable.
Sit up straight, Glenong.
There. You see, William is texting me already. Good
Oh,
morning,
my
Glenn.
goodness.
We have tweaked the script a bit for this afternoon. Okay. All right. Yes, we will go through the scripts later, William.
And Shalini's holding up the signboard that says, "We have run out of time, Dr. Jerry."
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Jerry,
3
Jerry,
things that
Jerry.
parents can do, okay? 1, increase physical activities, so outdoor activities. So
Oh, what about
increase-
indoor activities?
Indoor. So yes, you can. So you can have like your board games, your mahjong. You can have your crafting activives. Gone are the
What about
days
on the
that
bed?
all-
I don't think he's talking about that. she
Oh,
knows as well.
Yes, let's move on to the third one. So you have outdoor, you have indoor, and also engage your children in your own activities, because I realize that parents are also on the screen. So if they increase their own activities, and include their children, there's a lot more bonding time than just being on the screen. That means
What's gonna happen?
everybody is
More children.
okay. Yes. I will give the quote,
Yes, please.
because I was thinking about it, and and we had a period of like all the rain and everything, and everybody complained, oh, we cannot go out, and they use it as an excuse to stay on their screens indoors. So I'm going to use my favorite quote: life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning how to dance in the rain, by Vivian
Right.
Green.
So nice.
Yay, I love that
I just
one.
want to address something because I've been hearing more and more people talk about their kids and, they had kids during COVID baby, this and that. These COVID babies, when they grow up next time, right, they have to understand that they were created out of boredom. I don't know.
And they were confined,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know how they're
couldn't
gonna
go
feel
anywhere.
like that. So all these kids, right, who find out that they were all created out of boredom will probably be your clients.
Oh, good business for you.
I don't think that's.
They'll be like, why? No, am I really?
It's like during lockdown, right?
Yeah. If not for
They
COVID,
are
would
so
I be existing today? Okay, anyway. Thank you very much, Jerry, for joining us. As always, it's been a blast.
Happy to join and 新年快乐 everyone.
新年快乐.
新年快乐. Okay, take care. Up next,
Bye.
bye. Ed Sheeran featuring Justin Bieber, I Don't Care, on Kiss.